Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. So we're going to be looking at the Kanonenjagdpanzer 105, and this tank's quite a mouthful. I just call it the Kanj or the Kanpanzer, but in any case, it's a very, very fun tank to play. It's not a new tank by any means, but it's new to me again, as you hear me say with a lot of these premium tanks. And what I'm actually going to do is pop up into this bush and play it just like a light tank, just for the first minute or two to see maybe if I can spot someone that's coming down this way. You can do this because the tank is very fast. It has, you can run binocs on it, and with like rations and situational awareness, I believe I got this thing up to about 480 or so view range with the binocs. So we're in a game that's a 6-7-8 game, so we're top tier, and this game gets very wild at the end. I might fast forward through it a little bit, but just keep in mind the ending is what I want you guys to see, as with most of these close games. So over here, you're usually going to have people that are going to run down like this and get into, this bush line. However, it's the encounter mode. So on encounter mode, it's more rare, or it takes longer for people to get over there because everyone spawns here. There's a lot of action going on up here, and we do not have many people here. I have no idea what this guy is doing back here. He sits back here the entire game. I'm not even sure which heavy this is, but he's back there nonetheless, and I think it's the Tiger 131 or something like that. And he sits back there the entire game. I have no idea if this guy was like trolling or something, or he's just this bad at the game that he just ran back to the corner and sat there for whatever reason. But anyway, it's 1-4 ready. We're losing, and yeah, I see that the Cromwell's here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this hill here, so that I have the crossfire at tanks like the G-Sword. I'm going to get one into the G-Sword, and to talk further about this tank, guys, I love this thing now. I have played probably like 60 battles, 70 battles in this thing in the last couple of days. I'm just saying affirmative, and like, I don't know, man, to these people because of the way this game is going. But this tank, like, the reason I like it so much is because it's mobile. You know that I play a lot of light tanks. This thing is just as fast as a light tank. I kid you not. It is literally just as fast as a light tank. You can get into the same areas you can with a light tank early in the game, and you can even play it on some maps like a light tank and get initial spots and stuff like that, because you can set it up with binocs and stuff, and because the concealment is so great. On the move, the way I have this thing set up with full concealment, I want to say it's around 30% concealment on the move. That's without low noise exhaust and without fence. And stationary, it's like 40, high 40s, I believe. And then if you use the extra mods that you get that they added, I always forget what they're called, but those extra couple of things that you can add for 50,000 in the configuration menu. Once you increase the level, you can even add concealment after firing, which gets it up, like, your concealment after firing almost to 11%, which is pretty good if you ask me. So if you combine that with, sitting in a bush or something like that, and you know all the mechanics and the way the RNG and the maths work, then you can basically stay unlit from a lot of things, except like light tanks, of course. Like, even like if they're close enough to you or something like that, they'll pick you right out with CVS and stuff. But I think you guys get my point there. I mean, you can stay very, very well hidden in this thing, just like you can in the Hellcat, the Super Hellcat, stuff like that. And this thing is accurate, man. It's got good pen, it's got, decent DPM, and it's accurate. The gun is very derpy, and it says it's more accurate on paper than it really is, but still it will hit some nice shots. I recommend you go, you fully zoom in for all your shots, not zoom in. You fully allow the reticle to stop blooming, so you're fully aimed, I should say. And because the gun is derpy, it kind of plays like the STG, where it says that it's very, very accurate, but in reality the gun handling is a little wonky, let's just say. But in any case, guys, I love this thing. If you're looking to play, get into TDs, you could try this thing. It's thin as paper, right? You can't take any hits, but it's so mobile that if you're like me and you play a lot of light tanks, it's easy to kind of, work this tank into your playstyle because you're able to assess the situation and put yourself where you need to put yourself right away. So here we go, guys. This is what I wanted you to see. We're now 5.5 minutes into this game. Everyone's ripping on the Tiger. I don't blame them. And we have a situation where I'm against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tanks plus 2 arty, and it's the Tiger's just sitting back here camping. So what am I going to do in this situation? Well, I know there's 2 people on the cap, but at this point, I'm trying to, maybe see if I can see them from here, because I don't want to put myself in harm's way by running up this way and all these people are around, and that's why I'm saying at this point, not winnable. Like, I don't think this is winnable in the current situation because I have to run to reset cap and Tiger is not going to do it for me. So here we go. The T-150 is here. I'm going to get a shot to him. It misses. I think it just got a little weird with the way that chimney was on that building or something like that. And he's now probably going to get behind this building, and now I'm SOL. So missing that shot was pretty bad. Anyway, I'm willing to take the loss at this point. I'm thinking, all right, I'm not going to be able to reset the cap from here. And 703 appears, but he comes off the cap. He comes off the cap to allow these guys to get more damage because he thinks that this game is over. Well, look at the HP. He shouldn't have done that. This was a big mistake. So I didn't really technically carry this game. The 703 and these people that were on the cap that just allowed it to be reset through this game because I was willing to take the loss. There was no way in the situation that I was going to run up and reset the cap. But now that I know the T-150 is here, well, that doesn't put me in as much of a crossfire, and now I know exactly where the 703-2 is sitting. So now we spot the A43, and like, this game is completely changed. I'm able to, clean up the 703-2. I'm going to come down the hill, take a shot from the A43. It's really fine. He gets one into me there. And now I know that at this point I should be going dark soon. So I'm coming back behind all these bushes, and I'm trying to just add a bunch of bushes to the equation to, increase my concealment after taking that shot and all, so I don't get relit basically. And yeah, now this game has completely changed, right? It's me against 4 tanks basically. I'm sorry, 5 tanks. This is basically a 1 on 5, but keep in mind there's 3 artillery. I think I said 2 before, but I didn't see that the 1 was over here. So there's a lot of artillery in this situation, but still, that's a pain in the ass when you're in a tank like this, because if you get hit, they can even pen you. I mean, this tank has no armor. But I'm going to come up here. The A43 is here, and now I know that the only people that can get shots on me here are the RD, right? The T-150 is in the hole down here, so that's out of the equation. I'm going to get a shot to this guy. I'm going to ram him. And you don't really want to always ram people in this thing, but in this situation, I wanted to do it because I wanted to kill this guy as soon as I could and get away from the arty. Now, T-150 is next, and watch how this goes. This is just completely wild how this works out. I'm going to run up, and now I put in the chat, maybe winnable, right? So now I'm going to run up this way, and now we basically have a 1v4. I'm going to run up this way. I'm going to see if I can spot the T-150. He ends up appearing a little closer than I thought he was going to. I'm going to focus my shot here. It misses. And this is what I mean about the gun being derpy. We're going to go back and we're going to watch this again, guys. We're going to watch this again. You would think that this shot would go in, right? I know it wasn't fully aimed, but this is the thing with this tank. And it plays, in a way, it's just like the STG in where you aim at people like this and look at that. I mean, you would think that that would go in, and it just goes high or something like that. But in any other tank, that would have likely went in. It's just the way the caliber of this gun works or something like that. So when I miss the shot, I'm just going to kind of run around, try and stay safe from arty and not get hit by this guy in the meantime. I think this guy is basically like a 50% crew type player. That bounces somehow. And, this is what I like in situations like this where you just need one shot to go in, this is the kind of tank that will do this to you. It's just like the STG. It trolls the crap out of you, right? I blocked the T-150. I'm now running behind him, and look how slow this guy is. Like, I'm pretty sure this guy has like a 75% crew at best. So I'm going to get all the way around him here. I finally get the kill on him after that nonsense, and that's what I meant about wild. And yeah, so really I didn't lose that much HP from that situation at all. I lost 64 HP, and that's it from the Artie. So I should have lost more, but I didn't. Now I'm going to run away, so I'm safe from Artie. One of them gets on the cap. I was speeding this up a little bit because I do have one other video to show you guys after this. But I'm going to run to the cap, and at this point we spot FV207. I'm not even going to take a shot at this guy. I just want to get, deal with the dude on cap first. So I'm going to kill him, and luckily I get this shot because I swear to you, man, this tank is like, this guy must have took a really quick shot at me because that wasn't even close. I'm going to come up, take a shot in the FV, and now I think he might reload before I do, so I'm going to run back down the hill again. And, I almost forgot. I should have shot an HE shell at this guy because I feel like that might have killed him in one shot. But the thing is, with HE guys, and this is what I always say, I know a lot of people shoot HE, but in situations like this, where you have like weird corners, like the way I shot him, he was angled a little bit. You could shoot an HE shell, and still, like with the accuracy of this tank and all like that, on the move, like the bloom goes like this big on the move. You can still miss the shot or hit a weird part of the tank, like even the gun, and it doesn't pen. That's why I don't like shooting HE. I'd rather just shoot AP, and you could say whatever you want about this. I'd rather just shoot the APCR at a weird spot in the tank and know that it's going to pen, because if you shoot an HE shell and it doesn't pen, you're screwed, because then you end up shooting another shot just to do the same amount of damage anyway, right? So this is why I always say, like, to me, it's not even worth it. I'm going to go ahead, let this guy come to me, try and stay safe on the bridge here. I end up racking him, and now I'm going to get the last Artie. But yeah, this is my explanation of why I hardly ever shoot HE. The only time I'm going to shoot HE is when I'm in a situation against a Scorpion G, or maybe another light tank where I have, like in the LT-432, that's a good example, because the HE in the LT-432 is very powerful. It does a lot more damage than most of the tanks. Like the LTTB, I think you get like low 200s out of the HE. The LT-432, I believe it's 300 per shot. So if you're dealing with like a Scorpion from a distance, even if it's a game-winning situation or you're up close, I would probably go with the HE, because in that situation, the Scorpion is a very boxy tank as well, and if you can get like the front or the side of the tank easily, then go ahead and take the shot. But in a situation like this where I don't have a turret and stuff like that too, like I'd rather just be shooting the APCRs, because they also have wicked shell velocity. It's almost 1500 meters a second. So you could say what you want, like I said, guys, but this is why I a lot of times refuse to shoot HE. In very rare scenarios will I shoot an HE shell, maybe to reset the cap too, but I hardly ever do that. Usually I just try for a tracking shot, because I don't know if this was always the case, but I know that now tracking shots reset the cap as well. So this is, just another reason why there's no reason for me to shoot HE. The Crom is telling me to capture the base. It's a 3 minute and 17 cap. I know that now after the last video I showed you guys like a week ago or whatever. That on encounter, it's a 3 minute and 17 second cap out. There's 2.5 minutes left, and I'm all the way over here. So by the time I get to the cap, there's not a chance in hell, right? I mean, there's already not enough time. So now I'm going to run all the way around, and I'm going to find the M44 sitting here, get another shot there, kind of on the move, and yeah, we carry this game. 7 kills, 3,887 damage, and that's the end of this wild game. We're going to get right into the M plates. I'm not going to say any more because I want to get through this video as soon as possible. Here we go. Here's the M plates. We got Mastery, Top Gun, High Caliber. I think one of these is like, it's a decap for the base, basically, and yeah, Orlix or Pascucci's, those kinds of medals, something like that. I'm terrible with my medals. Here is the team score, and here we go with the detailed report. Again, if you guys want to pause, go ahead. I'm going to jump into the next video. At this point in time, I am actually running vents and vent purge, and then the binocs and the aim thing. But I think I took vents off and started running rammer at some point. We'll go ahead, zoom this one in quick for you guys if you want to pause it, and that's it. So let's close these out. Let's go ahead and get into the next replay. And from here, I don't even remember what map this was on. Let's see. Okay, from here we will be looking at Redshire, I believe this map is called, yes. So this is a game on Redshire, and on Redshire what I like to do in my TDs is I come right to here. This little area with all the trees, I feel like it's an excellent position because you have really good shots on this, but also because of the binocs and stuff like that, you can even spot people that are like coming up around here if you're lucky. But you also have shots going all through here as well. So if you look, I'm going to knock down these trees, get them all like this so people are not really sure where I'm at. And yeah, just look at like what you can shoot at from here. I mean, you have a lot of options, right? So that's why I like it here. These guys appear, and I'm instantly ready to get shots into them. They're pretty safe though, so you know, no initial shots here at first. We're going to sit here, we're going to wait, and this is what you can do in this tank. You can just wait for these shots. I'm going to get one into the Progetto, I light him on fire, and he's going to burn. I kind of wish that the RU would have let him burn even further, but that's alright. I'm starting off the game with 807 damage, and I'm not going to complain about that. So, let's kind of fast forward through this one a little bit until it gets exciting. I remember sitting here for a little while until the VK came around, and yeah, talk about tough shots, right? Like if you're facing a 101p from a distance, you have really the only option here is to try and shoot the cap. And yeah, it's not an easy shot to make. That's all I'm going to say. You do have the middle lower plate, but from a distance that's very difficult to hit, and in this case I can't see it, so you know that's certainly not going to happen. In this game I do recall one thing, and that's that I only missed one shot. So this shot that's coming up, the one that I missed on his cap, which you will see, is the only shot in this game that I missed. And when RNG is blessing you like this, if this happened to me every single game, dude, I'd have like 3,000 damage a game with this tank. You know, it's just the RNG never works like that. So, but in some games it does, but you know, a majority of the time it does not. So take a shot here. Again, another fairly lucky shot, I would say. And 403 damage into the side of the Shrek TVP. So here's a T49. I auto-aim that shot and don't even let the reticle completely bloom, and that one goes in. Yet with light tanks that have been half that distance away, I've auto-aimed and completely missed, with them going straight away or straight towards me, just like that guy was there. So again, RNG, it's all RNG. I know my dad gets really pissed off whenever he misses shots that he thinks he should hit, and I have to remind him, like, it's an RNG thing. I'm telling you, it's just an RNG thing. It's not you. You seem to be aiming your shots well most of the time. Trust me, I bounce, I ricochet, I hit shit that I feel like I should pen all the time. Sometimes my shots go to outer space. You know, even in a tank like this, 0.26 dispersion, and sometimes my shots are going to the moon, and I'm like, where the hell did that go? Like, it just happens, guys. We all know this. It's RNG. It's World of Tanks. It's the way the game is, and sometimes you just get that worst possible RNG roll, and the freaking shell, you know, goes like here or something like that when you're aiming right here, right? It's just the way it is. So here's the T28. I'm going to get a shot into the T28. We're at 2,000 damage, and yeah, again, I'm going to emphasize one more time, every single shot just was perfect in this game. So please do not get discouraged, guys, if you're shooting shots and it's just going away the hell, you know, wherever. Because in the first game you saw, I was taking a shot at that T-150 almost point blank and it freaking missed, right? So yet here we are from some 500 meters away, picking off the T-28 with into his cap, right? And I make these shots and I'm sitting here like I do that, like you know, when I take the shot and every time it hits like the T-28 there, and I'm like what? Like, you know, it's incredible when it actually works the way it should, right? So where you hit what you're aiming, right? That's what I should say. But in any case, let's move on with this game a little bit. Here we go. Here comes the VK. Try and get a shot into this guy, but I see the Progetto. I'm like, all right, let me get his side plate maybe. I'm trying to find a spot to hit this guy. You know, these things are hard, man. Depend. He turns a little bit. I'm like, all right, let's go for the side plate. And I'm able to get the side plate. What I should have done in this situation is just loaded the high explosive, the heat shells, because look at the penetration on these heat shells. 330 millimeters of pen. I think these are like 270 or so. 268, yeah. So that's the only shot there that I missed, I believe, was that shot on the cap. We're at 3,060 damage already, and yeah, this is a close game, which again I will say is rare. That's another thing, guys. And look at that shot into the T-49. It must have went a little bit left because I didn't lead it at all. Now keep in mind, you have almost 1,500 meters of shell velocity, meters a second of shell velocity on this tank. So in some cases, that's going to be almost instant. But in that case, I know I would have been behind him with the way I aimed it. So RNG just blessed me and put it a little bit to the left probably, and I hit him. So it's just incredible when you have games like this and you can't miss, even if you try to miss. Like 3,500 damage, and I'm just chilling here. 3,500 damage, guys. You know, it's incredible. So I think I do decide to take like 1 or 2 blind shots here. Maybe, I'm not sure. I can't remember. But I knew there were a lot of guys over there, so here is the TVP. And at this point, I know this is going to be a really close game because we are up 1 tank, but we're down by HP. And I would say that they have a better map positioning, being that they, you know, are controlling the cap at the time being. And a lot of our people are just sitting up here camping. So at this point, I'm like, I might actually have to do something to carry this game. Who knows? Much harder to do in the, you know, Kanonenjagdpanzer than in, you know, LT-432, you know, something like that. In any light tank even an even 90, right? So with this tank, you know, you can only do so much, you can only get close enough, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and come kind of into this bush line, see if I can maybe see anything. I don't, so at this point we need to push into the cap. There's 10 seconds left, and yeah, the Centurion's kind of pushing with me, so he's able to take a shot there, and he gets an HE shell into the VK. Very, very, very smart play on his part to shoot an HE shell there, and this is where HE will work, guys. So you're able to, you know, even on a tank like the VK, get a shot into him there and reset the cap. That's great. A great use for an HE shell, right? So we reset the cap. I'm now sitting on it. I think the Leo is going to rip me apart, so I'm pretty concerned about this. I'm trying to get back. He's poking me here. He's poking me. Get a shot into him there. He gets one more into me, and now I'm a one-shot. So I'm going to back up a little more. No one's helping me here. Statu, you know, TNH, like these guys can come help me, but they aren't at first. TNH finally comes up to help. You know, Sharfooter is here, and at this point I need to run out. I need to run away from here. I'm a one-shot, so I'm going to run and kind of do something else with my tank because I don't want to be near that Leo. He's ripped me apart enough, and I need to, you know, just keep a distance on these guys. Now, in this tank, this is what I want to show you. This is what you can do. Look how fast we're going, almost 70 kilometers an hour. And look how fast we are able to get out of here. This is what I mean about this tank and why I like it so much. You know, it's got good pen. It's got good accuracy, you know, for the most part. The gun control you. But to talk about the way this tank should be played, it's like this. You can almost flank in this tank because it is so fast, ladies and gentlemen. You can get into these positions where no other TD can reach. And to be able to do this is just it's quite insane. When you have a gun that is capable of 330 millimeters of penetration, um, you know, and 390 alpha damage a shot, I believe it is. 390 damage a shot, 330 millimeters of penetration, and you're able to put the gun this quickly into another area of the map. That is extremely powerful in the right hands, right? So use that. Use the mobility to your advantage. Swing around people and really fling yourself around the map and try and get different angles on everything. So here we go. We get 2 more shots in there, and now these guys are going to kill off the Leo Pata, as Skill likes to call it, the PTA. And here we go. TVP is pushing into him. WZ is pushing into him. I believe the TVP got the kill. He did. 2 kills, 5k damage, 329 assists, guys. Let's get into the end plates. This is going to be another long one, but I want to bring you a double feature. It's going to be on YouTube. You guys know you can click around wherever you want. All right, let's get into the end plates. So here we go. We are looking at another mastery. I believe the first one was a mastery as well, right? So we have a dual mastery video again. I just did the mod 1 video. That was a dual mastery. And yeah, we have high caliber again, and these other badges. 5k damage, guys. 329 assists. And these games are not showing you much assist, but I will be honest with you, with the mobility of this thing again and the binocs, I would suggest setting it up with binocs. You can get into these areas that you can get into and passive scout for the first minute of the game if you really want to, and you are able to get some pretty good spots on the enemies in the early game if you choose to do so. So keep that in mind as well. Here we are with the team score, and here we are with the detailed report. I wasn't running premium anymore at this time, and I did switch over to the rammer, as you can see here. I recommend setting it up like this because of the reload time. The rammer actually does play a pretty big role. I think it cuts the reload down like 1.5 seconds or something like that. It's pretty substantial in my opinion. 56k here, guys, and that's about it. I'm going to show you the stats on this thing. 1.73 aiming time, 0.26 dispersion, 2362 DPM. Again, you have no armor, but the mobility is insane. 786, 70 top speed. The traverse speed isn't even that bad. This thing just flies. It's fast. It's very, very, very fast. So use the mobility to your advantage. That's it, guys. Man, I'm out of breath after these 2 long videos. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys for the next one. Stay safe out there, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.